Well, hello everybody. It's kind of a first video like this for me. It's a snowy day outside here in Virginia. It's a nice day just to sit, look at the snow, and just do one of these videos. And it's a good day to listen to music at home. So I thought that I would let you know what I'm listening to. And this is going to be real quick. Not really getting into big explanations about what I'm listening to, just thought you'd like to know some of the things that I like the last few weeks. I'm going to start with an album I just talked about the other day, Pet Sounds. My buddy and I from college, his name is Chris, and he watches, so hello Chris. Last night, which would have been Saturday the 30th at the time of this video, we did a little Zoom call together and played Pet Sounds over Zoom, and it's a common favorite between the two of us. So that was neat to get to talk to him and watch. He's up in Michigan, I'm down here in Virginia. And just talk about Pet Sounds and just reminisce on college and that sort of thing. So I just listened to Pet Sounds last night. It's not too far from my reach every time I'm listening to music, so that's not that uncommon. But I hadn't listened to it in probably a couple of months. So it was good to hop back into Pet Sounds, as always. And the next album is Mignonette by the Avett Brothers. This has been one that I've been playing while at work. It's one of their independent albums from 2004, I believe. It just got some really raw sounding songs on it, including a song that their dad wrote. He's a musician as well. They sing a version of it, and then a hidden track at the end is a recording that their dad did back in the 70s. As a professional recording of the song called Signs. But there's some good songs on here if you want to hear some early raw Avett Brothers. Mignonette, it's been a work godsend for me. Alright, and the next, well no, let me do this. And not necessarily this album, this is just the most common jazz album there is out there of Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, considered by many the greatest jazz album of all time. I'm not 100% behind that, but it's a very good album. It's kind of my introduction into jazz when I got into it back in college. But it kind of gives you a taste. When I go in early in the morning for work, if I have to do an early shift, usually I'll play a couple of jazz albums, instrumental albums, to kind of get my brain going for the day. And Miles Davis is a common one that I'll play. I also play Dave Evans, of course Coltrane, Dave Brubeck. I've played some Stan Getz, my Bossa Nova album. It's a really good type of music to listen to start your day. And this is, like I said, this is just the most common jazz album that I had. But I've been listening to a lot of jazz in the morning at work at 8 a.m. So the next few that I have represent 3 artists but several discs, and these are all actually recent purchases of mine within the last month. So I'll start with the one group here out of Pennsylvania, and let me start with this album. This is their first album. They're called Good Old War, and you can see my packaging when I got it in the mail. Cracked the case, which I can't stand. That's why I don't like buying plastic albums through the mail. But Good Old War, if you like Everly Brother type harmonies, it's just 3 guys. Their last names Goodwin, Arnold, and Schwartz, compressed. That's how the band got its name, Good Old War. Just really good acoustic sounding triple harmonies. It's a singer who actually plays the bass lines on the keyboards, so they don't have a bass player, and then one guitarist and one drummer. I've really been into that album, as well as their whole catalog, and I just got 2 other albums. This was their 3rd album called Come Back as Rain, Again, just more of the same, just good acoustic music. This was probably their most poppy album, and it's actually their last full release, called Broken Into Better Shape. And I'm expecting their second album in the mail. It was out of stock when I ordered it, so I'm just waiting for them to restock that. But this was like their kind of their experimental album, but it's still very good. Good triple harmonies, and again, just good music to listen to. Not a whole lot of depth behind it, but it's good, pleasant music to listen to while you're working. This next group, actually my friend Chris, who I was just mentioning earlier, has seen this group live, and he's been trying to get me into them for years. And I just now bit the bullet and dove into their catalog. They're called The Devil Makes Three, and this is a really neat album. It's called Ruin and Redemption, or Redemption and Ruin, whichever way you want to look at it. And it's all cover songs. Half the album, the Ruin half of the album, is mostly old blues songs that, talking about partying on Saturday nights. For example, you have Drunken Hearted Man by Robert Johnson, Champagne and Reefer by Muddy Waters, I Gotta Get Drunk, Willie Nelson, Chase the Feeling, Chris Christopherson, I'm Gonna Get High, Hudson Whitaker, and then Waiting Around to Die by the great Townes Van Zandt. And then on the Redemption side, you have more gospel songs, like they're redeemed. You have There'll Be a Jubilee by Phil Moore, I Am the Man, Thomas, which was an old Stanley Brothers song, Come On Up to the House, Tom Waits song, one of my favorite Tom Waits songs, What Would You Give in Exchange for Your Soul by Charlie Monroe, Down in the Valley, the old traditional song, and then finally Hank Williams' The Angel of Death. So if you like old stand-up bass, ragtime, folky music, it's very, very Appalachian, but it's modern. Check out The Devil Makes Three, and tell him Chris sent you, because he sent me there. And then lastly, I got into the very first album by the Head and the Heart self-titled album. Another indie group. I'm really getting into indie music as of late. This is still their biggest album. It's got their hits on it. Rivers and Roads, Down in the Valley, Ghosts. Just really good, harmony, acoustic, kind of hand clapping type music. So anyway, that's it. That's essentially the list of main albums that I've been listening to in the last month or so. I'll try to start doing these more frequently if I get into anything that's interesting. I know a lot of you all that watch these don't know a lot of these newer artists, but I know a lot of you all are always saying to recommend older music to people, and I'm somebody who loves 60s rock and things like that. So I'm recommending all these albums to you all. I'd recommend all of them. Check them out. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Take care.